We are at 2885 Walworth Avenue. And for those of you who don't know, we're in Walworth Junction, the site of the 2020 Homerama. But this is a special house, and we rarely get the opportunity to sit down with the builder to talk about what it takes to build a house like this. So I want to introduce you all to Jeff Wieland of Wieland Builders. Introduce yourself and tell everybody what it takes to build a house.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for all your hard work on this job. So, this is it's like any house that we build. It's really cool opportunity to build this custom house, but this is just a unique home to both build, to tour, to live in, everything that you could possibly do, because it's 5 stories,
Yes.
and it's very narrow, sitting right on the Ohio River, literally on the Ohio River,
Literally,
which
yeah.
is really cool. Great view of the city of Cincinnati, and but just so many different features in this home as we go through it, and we'll take you through it. But man, it's so much different than building out in the county or building out in the suburbs, where you have a big sprawling ranch, and now you're coming down here, and every single thing you do, it takes a lot of thought process to put this house together. So we had to kind of build it in our heads. We had to build it on paper. We had to kind of walk through it, live in it on paper, and then bring it to fruition as we're building it here.
You build all around the region, right?
We do.
So you see it all. You see it whether it's in the suburbs or the country of Butler County to the city of Cincinnati. And it's funny because you probably get this a lot, is where you hear like, I want to build a huge house. It's a small house. And unfortunately, small or tight doesn't translate to lower budget, right?
Right.
Because there's so many different details in
Yeah.
there. And the cost per square foot can go up.
Always.
know?
People always call and say, what's your cost per square foot? And I'm like, I don't know. What's a bag of groceries cost? How much does a car cost per pound? You just have no idea what's in that house. So the size really doesn't matter.
Sure.
When you're talking about building a house and costing a house, because people they always say, hey, we want to downsize. And I'm like, well, that's great. Are you talking about your budget, or are you talking about your house?
Yes.
And most of the time, you got to think about that. It's the house, not necessarily the budget.
We started using the word right sizing.
Right
Downsizing
sizing.
almost doesn't
Yeah.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, some people can figure out a way to do it.
Yeah,
but it's
call it
just
what you want.
expensive.
You just want to move.
You want something new that fits your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of Walworth Junction.
Yeah.
And I think this is such a unique opportunity because it's all different types of folks that live here, right? Because it can be somebody grateful with, maybe they are just double income, no kids, and just want a great place to live. Maybe they're empty nesters and their kids are getting ready to go off. All sorts of folks that are down here. And the beauty is you have these views, you have the entertainment opportunity, you have walkability. But let's rewind for just a quick second. Is building these houses is hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's not easy. I know I've talked to you, and no curse words in this one. Actually, no, you go ahead. You're okay with that. But no, in reality, is they're not easy. I know we've talked to a number of different builders building down here. So tell us about that process and what it takes to build a house down here.
Yeah,
Truly.
to build a house in the city is one thing. To build a house in the Hillside District is another thing in the city of Cincinnati. And we're building these really, really expensive high-end custom houses, so they're all difficult to some degree.
Sure.
This particular home, when you're in the Hillside District, with the first house we built down here, I just remember taking so many pictures of the footer and taking so many pictures of the wall. Of course, we were in COVID at that point in time when we first started this neighborhood, and we were doing inspections on FaceTime. So we had to take an engineer that was in his office at home, and I'm FaceTiming him walking around with a tape measure and looking at all the seals and looking at everything, because it looks like a closing bridge when you're done with this footer. And when you're done with this wall, there was more concrete or more steel in the walls and the footer than there was concrete.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's this great big layout, and it took like 9 yards of concrete for the footer because there was so much steel in it. So it's really cool to think about things like that. You always have to be thinking about your next step. But then to take it a step further, on our homes that we built down here, the foundations have been 18 feet tall, which is just crazy. I mean,
Compared to a normal foundation.
normal
that's
foundation
nine.
is, we average 9 to 10 foot.
Yeah.
So we're 18 feet.
Double.
And we did that because we're trying to balance out, in these particular homes, there's an alleyway around the back where you drive and you park. And then there's the main Walworth Avenue that's up on the front, which is up more like on the first level. And we're balancing out that front porch garage area as you come up through it. And so when we first started looking at this, our first initial thought was brownstone in New York. I mean, that is so cool to think about that, and I think about the Cosby Show, like back in the day when we were kids, and they would walk down the street and you see all these big houses, and you can see them down in Washington, D.C. as you're walking to the ballpark. And that was our first inspiration, is
Sure.
thinking about these things. So how do we balance that out? And so that was one of the ways, is we do a deeper wall. We get the first floor here, we get the garage there, and you walk straight in into the lower level.
Yep.
And this house has 3 entertainment areas to it. So when you
Yes.
walk into the lower level, it's all one level. You're not walking into the lower level just for your garage and then taking a bunch of steps up to whatever level that may be, and then taking more steps up to whatever level that may be. So it made it really, really useful. In this particular home, we have 18-foot tall foundation, so we have golf simulator down the basement.
Sure. Yeah.
We put basketball courts.
So that's our
Yeah.
top 5 later on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but so we have, that was one of the things that we put basketball courts down these basements. Just really cool entertainment area down there.
Yes.
And then when you think about those things, then you have to start thinking about where do your mechanics go, and how's the heating and air conditioning system work? How does the plumbing work? Where does the electric come into the house? Where do you put the AC units? And all of those things start coming into play with, when we run things up walls, most of the time we have to run them on inner walls. You don't want to put a lot of stuff on the exterior walls.
Yes.
Well, now you don't have that space to do that. So you start thinking about mechanically, how's that going to work? And then you got to make sure that it's not going to sway. It's not going to fall apart. It's not going to fall down. That's something stupid to say. You're a builder. Why would it fall down?
Yeah.
These are things that you have to take into consideration. And there's a lot of steel, framing steel, structural steel, as you come up through these buildings to get to it. So it's a lot different than building just a regular ranch out in the suburbs. It's
totally true.
Really cool.
It's interesting too, because you can sequence only so much, right? Like you have tools like you builder trend, all this stuff that sequence and plan out the job. Really, when you're here, you're thinking on your feet, you're understanding problem solving constantly. And I think that's what folks know. When you say steel means more cost in a house, right? Versus having just stick framing and wood throughout. Does it use more steel, more cost higher up? It translates to cost, which obviously this is a very high-end home, but it's appointed to reflect exactly that. And that's what buyers want, right?
Yeah.
That's what they want in these houses. And that's the beauty of a site like this. So with that being said, is you talked about the challenges in the site, but the challenge pose opportunities to really have an impressive house.
Yeah.
So let's dive in real quick to when you have a house like this, there's been plenty of homes built, let's be honest, in downtown Cincinnati, in Hyde Park, Mount Lookout, East End, all those kinds of things. But this one's rare. There's some things in this house, some features in this house that are truly unique. Let's go through real quick. These are our top 5. And it's funny because we compared notes. I came with my top 5, I asked Jeff what his top 5 were, and we kind of right on the same page,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
But there's so many, there's 20 of them, so we'll try to combine something like that. So like the top 5, let's start off with number 1. And this is my opinion, I'd say it's location. Would you agree? Location and the views.
Yeah, I would agree. Location and the views, and don't forget with this location that we not only how we built the house, but with the location we qualified for LEED Gold.
Yes.
So it's a LEED certified home. You get the tax abatement here in the city of Cincinnati, plus you get a really cool energy efficient home. So location is definitely. And the other thing I was thinking about is location. Is I grew up out in the country. I grew up in the sticks, and so the only time we come to the city is when you were coming down here for entertainment.
Sure.
And I think that probably right when I got home from college, it was right now, maybe 97, 98, they started that City-Rama concept with Roxanne Qualls, who's the mayor down here in the city of Cincinnati, where they wanted people to start living in the city. Don't just come here and work and go home. They wanted to start living here in the city. And I think that that's a unique opportunity for somebody like me, where you just came down to a ball game, you came down for Oktoberfest, and then you went back home. Now you're here, you're living here, you're walking to different places. We can see the stadium essentially from our back door here.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a cool opportunity. So
people can't see it from right here, and we'll get some B-roll, but you're looking at the crown jewel of downtown. You can see it right there. That's the best part. You mentioned something else too, is one of the best features is the folks that live here. Heck, last year they, I think, had a Keeneland bus as a group of residents go down here. So you get, not only do you just get great folks to be around in a great vibrant area, but you get to do exciting stuff.
Exactly.
Built a community. So if you're moving in from outside of Cincinnati, you get to be kind of right entwined to that.
Exactly.
So really, so we should say this, we're in lot 38 of the community. There's 39 lots total. 39 was like the first lot picked for Homerama because it's one of the best lots, but you built that house overlooking that. So we're the next one over, which means we're the top of this portion of the hill, hence the 18-foot basement. So our view is totally unobstructed going down.
Really cool.
We can see everything. So
beautiful view. And you're seeing up and down the river, and you can see the other part, when we were on our top floor, one of the historical parts of Cincinnati or the southwest areas is Schmidt Field, Schmidt's Landing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a place where people put their boat in and out of the water all the time. Mm-hmm. It was a huge place for people like my dad and all of his buddies when they were kids and growing up. They played baseball and softball there. A lot of the Reds players played there.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of history there.
It's awesome. That's what makes it so special.
Yeah.
You know? Now, let's jump into number 2. Let's talk about the floor plan. There's 5 levels.
Yeah.
It's incredible. And we're in this big open first floor, which is really the 3rd floor, depending on how you want to look at it. So why don't we talk about that a little bit?
So like I said, there's 3 entertainment spaces in this house. So I mean, really the whole place is entertainment. But
Totally.
the lower level with the golf simulator and a bar and just that whole entertainment down there. The mid level is our mechanical area,
Yes.
and this is where the heating and air conditioning and the water heater is, and a couple other different features. But it would also on that level has a huge amount of storage. So it's a little craft room in there, another storage area that goes above the golf simulator. And it's something that, again, you don't think about. You're thinking about all these cool things that we're going to put into this house.
Yeah.
Where are you going to keep everything?
It's true.
And so we store a lot of stuff in there in that space. And then you come up to the first floor. First floor enters off of Walworth Avenue. We have a porch on the back of here to where you can, and it's got automatic screens on it that go up and down. So you're, get a couple more months out of the year use out of your outdoor area. One of the cool things that people don't, I think that a lot of people won't realize this until you're in this house, is our breakfast nook.
Yes.
And this is an area where, you think about when you wake up in the morning and you're sitting there eating breakfast or you're drinking your coffee, whatever it is, maybe in that breakfast nook, you are looking up and down the river. You're looking at the city of Cincinnati. It's really, really cool. So that's our entertainment. We have a great room, kitchen, dining area, study on that first floor. You go up to the second floor, it's a sleeping rooms, which is, again, really cool. Every room has its own bathroom. Just a really nice layout. The primary suite is just like you would expect in a Wieland home. It's just done up super nice. But then you get up to the top floor, and the top floor is what it's all about. The rooftop deck, which is kind of cool. It's a viewing area. You can hang out there just a little bit. But you come back inside, and it's a whole nother great room. It's got this huge cathedral ceiling. It's got a bar, almost a full kitchen up there, bathroom. But let's not forget too, when people see these houses, the first thing they think about is, why would I want to climb all those stairs? We don't have to, because we put an elevator in here. And the elevator, that's right. Yeah, perfect. I'm cutting back. So the elevator stops at all 5 floors. And it's a lifesaver. So it takes the stairs out of the equation.
That's it. And it's already installed. It's ready. It's approved. It's certified. It's ready to rock and roll. Yep. That's the best part. And you do need it. I don't care how young you are.
Yeah.
You come in with a luggage groceries and you want to throw that in there.
Yes.
Set them off.
Definitely.
It's glorified dumbwaiter in some ways, but it's quick too. It's not as slow as they used to be. And for those out there, there's safety features. I know people used to be back in the day worried about elevators in houses.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard much worry about it, and that might be, I don't know where that comes from, but I mean, this is more and more popular that we put in these houses, even in ranch homes. People are thinking about, every time we're designing this house, we're not building a production style house where it's like you're going to live here for a little bit and your plans are to move on. We're building these homes specifically for people. We're building these homes that are just this unbelievably awesome. And you plan on being here for a long time.
Absolutely.
And so in all of our homes that we build, we're trying to plan for the future. And the elevator is a big talking point.
Longevity.
Absolutely.
Longevity is what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's jump into number 4 too. So you take that elevator all the way up. Talk a little bit about the rooftop deck. But that rooftop deck and what you're looking for, that's one on its own. That's what, having been a part of a lot of sales back here in Walworth Junction, that not every house has this. I mean, you have a massive space. The kitchen is up there, is almost as big, if not bigger in a lot of ways than this kitchen.
Yep.
Half bath. And then you have a view from inside. When you're up, is this a fair comment? When you're up on the roof, you're closer to the sun. That's obvious. So yeah, it's hot up there. Like it's not cool. So having a place where you can just go on back in, and you can't have something built too far in the back of the house, covered areas, that sort of thing.
Right.
So having a retreat in there, but being able to pop up maybe at sunset, or just hang out on a nice day where it's nice and cool.
Yep.
It's an awesome. And that's what brings people out.
I agree. And when it's the place where I think people are going to want to be. I mean, for years we finished basements and people thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And then you kind of realize that it's not like you only use it like a dining room. You only use it a couple times a year.
It's true.
And now this space on the top floor, I just see this as a space where you're going to use it every single day. Mm-hmm. You're going to be able to entertain up there. You're going to be able to use it for your own use. I mean, just to go up there and chill.
Yep.
Go up there and eat dinner. Go up there and watch TV. I mean, it's the reverse. It's not the basement. It's the top floor.
Exactly.
You don't have that opportunity a lot of times in the suburbs. When you're talking about this 5-story kind of row house brownstone look, that's your lower levels on the top floor.
That's it. That's what it's all about.
But you can't. I mean, the first thing everybody complains about in the lower level is light and windows and access and walkouts and all those things. You go to the top floor. That's what it's there for.
It's the opposite problem.
Yeah.
You get up there.
Opposite.
You get so much light. So if you're trying to take a nap up there, it may not be the best place to go.
I don't want to take a nap.
Like a nice deep sleepy basement.
Yeah.
Well, let's change up number 5 then for a second. So
Okay.
you threw in the golf simulator, which in itself, is unbelievable.
Right.
And I know we reach it, the malls down there. It's awesome. But it's a full package. This house, you have custom appointments throughout the entire house. It's a big floor plan, so there's no sacrificing space. It's a Wieland custom home, right? So you've put your heart and soul into this with the selections, and the appointments are second to none. This is not a standard custom house. That'd be fair to say. You're doing Homerama in about, well, I shouldn't time date this because somebody may watch this
Right.
later, but you're doing Homerama in 2024,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Would you say this is on par with the Homerama house?
This is above the Homerama house, way above the Homerama house. Homerama houses are great,
Mhm.
and people are like, I want Homerama quality. I'm like, you should look at all the other houses we built,
Yeah.
because they're, Homerama is awesome, and it's going to be a great home every year, and it's our showcase. But I mean, so many of the other homes that we get to build are so cool, and this is a perfect example of what that is. Every room in this house has custom cabinetry, custom built-ins, custom countertops, appliances, and just, stonework. It's just every single thing that you look, everywhere you look, it's here. And this is maxed out. This is what we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot of passion.
I can't hit that enough. Is like, this is truly unique. Everything you've put in here, you've invested the dollars, and where our list price is now, what you're getting in this house could not be more balanced, and just you're getting so much more for your money in a house like this than any other home.
100%, because you think about when we first started thinking about drawing the plans for this house, when we first started pricing it out, it was in a unique time before interest rates were up, before different material costs were up, and we have a really good price on this. If you took this house and wanted to replicate it, today, you're talking about probably another 30-40% more. And so this is a really good opportunity. But man, I talk to our customers all the time. First thing I talk about that I want out of our customers is time, passion, and money. 3 things. I want time, passion, and money. And we focus on that ourselves with our heart in this home, with the passion, and just looking at all the designs, taking our time, selecting things and putting things in here, and then focus on the end user and what their budget's going to allow.
I might have to steal that. It's pretty good. Time, passion.
I'm sure a lot of people will steal it.
I'd say nobody says it's eloquent.
Imitation's the highest form of flattery, right?
Well, I tell you what, the best part is like, Jeff's not going to be here for every tour, right? Now, let's be honest, is like, you are so totally approachable on any buyer that buys your house.
Absolutely.
You're there. You're the builder. You're out here doing these things.
What we do.
But I wanted to film this video so you could see firsthand the passion that goes into a house like this, see what it takes to build it. Lastly, it's just so incredible, and you spend 2 years of your life putting these homes together. So it deserves to not have the real estate agent come over and take all the thunder and glory out there.
Yeah.
But also, is maybe somebody can try to challenge you some golf down there. I think that's what we need to end the video with, a couple swings.
Yeah, I think that's important to know. It's not a space for a golf simulator. We put the golf simulator in there, and it's set up and it's ready to go. And I've been down here a couple times. I know you have too.
I sure have. Yeah. We'll see. I have a golf outing tomorrow, so
that's
we'll
right.
see if
Go down and practice.
Exactly, if you win. Well, Jeff, thanks for spending the time.
Thank you.
Great. You guys crushed it out here.
You do too. Thank you.
If you want to set up a tour, reach out to us. We'd be happy to tour you through it. The house is sold already and you're watching this video. Call Jeff, though. They build houses all around the Cincinnati region, and I'm telling you, it's worth your time. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.